Hello, in this video tutorial I would like to show you how to install the Emdros query tool. It's a powerful, very useful tool that allows to query Emdros databases. In our particular case, we would like to query the Emdros database of the so-called Telstra Center for Biomedical Computing of the Free University in Amsterdam. We go to ambrose.org, the site you see in front of you. There, click on the download tab, move to the download page. There we open the Emdros folder, go to the latest version of the Emdros program. Here you have a collection of different Emdros installation files. Just look for the one that fits your operating system. In my case, I'm running a Windows 7 machine with a 32-bit installation. So we download this file. Here we go. The file size of that file is 40 megabytes. Depending on your internet speed, that the download time will vary, of course. You can already go to the Windows Explorer and here to the download folder. It looks like the download is completed in a second. Yes, here we are. So we double click the installation file and launch the installation procedure. Since we are done, we can now open the Emdros query tool after you've installed the Emdros program. Actually, 3 programs are made available to you, and the Emdros chunking tool, the import tool, and the query tool. We are particularly interested into the query tool. The other 2 tools are not treated in this tutorial. Well, here the program is up and running, but it's of no use yet since we need to load a database and read that database with the help of a configuration file. So we need 2 files. The configuration file and the database. In order to connect to these 2 files, you click on this upper left database icon. In our case, the format of the database is SQLite3. We then open the configuration file. I have it available in this folder. Here we go. The configuration file can be manipulated in such a way that it fits your purposes. After you have loaded the configuration file, you need to also connect the query tool to the correct Emdros database. In our case, it's the Hebrew BHS4 database. Okay. We're successfully connected, which would mean that we can start running our first queries. A very useful feature of the Emdros query tool is that on the right pane you will see the different object types that are available in the database. Each of those object types that you see here, book, chapter, clause, and so on, will also show the features that come with that object type. For example, phrase, you have the feature phrase type, also the feature phrase function. Each function will have specific values that are available. In the case here of phrase function, we find values like the subject or like the predicate and the object and so on. Okay, so let's run a query now. Select all objects. Where the query language that I'm using is the MQL query language. You can find the complete documentation for that query language here on the Emdros site under documentation. There's a nice PDF document that introduces with a lot of good examples into the Emdros query language. So what we are going to look for is all the cases in which Yahweh appears as subject and is speaking. Thus we are searching for a subject phrase with Yahweh and a predicate phrase with the Hebrew word amar, that is to say or to speak. So we're searching for clause, any clause that contains a phrase that has the function predicate. Let's check whether our abbreviation is correct here, pred. Within that phrase we want a word that has the lexeme amar. We close the object word. We now can also close the object phrase. That phrase, that predicate phrase should be followed by another phrase which has the function subject. Let's again see whether my abbreviation is correct. Yes, it is. Subject followed by the word with the legs. We close the word object, we close the phrase object, and we can now also close the clause object. The reason for this two dots, it's a specific operator in the MQL query language, is that it allows me to say that any distance between the phrase function, the predicate and the subject is allowed. So direct subsequent subject is found, as well as a subject phrase that might appear at the end of the clause, while the predicate might appear at the beginning of the clause with many phrases in between. So let's run our query. Here we go. 708 cases are found. What we see is that none of the phrases is actually highlighted. If we want to do that, we use the operator focus. Let's focus the predication as well as the subject. We want to clean a blank, wipe the query results. We do that by clicking here on that white box, then execute the query again by clicking the lightning button. What we see now is that all phrases that have the amar predication and the Yahweh subject are highlighted. Well, in this first particular case we see that the subject phrase consists actually of two words, Yahweh Elohim, the Lord God. If we only want to have Yahweh highlighted, then we have to change the vocus and put it on the word. Let's do the same here for Amar. Wipe our result window, hit the lightning button, execute the query again, and here we see that only the word Yahweh is highlighted now. Of course, we could completely make the query more complex by searching also for those cases in which actually the reverse order takes place, namely first the subject Yahweh is mentioned and then the predication Amar. We do this just by copy pasting. So we should be all set now. So we're searching for two clauses, either this one or this one. The only difference is the order of the elements. Execute the query again. We had 708 results in the previous one, and we see that there are actually only 12 more cases added. Well, this is how you run a query in the Emdros query tool. You can save your query if you like the results of your query construction by clicking here on this icon, give it a name, the Lord speaking, and at any given time you can open again that saved MQL query and run it again. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and the installation procedure for the Emdros query tool has become clear. Thank you.